in order to build a sustainable business, as it relates to your question, how long can I be away from the brand and the business doesn't fall apart? It can't be 100% about you.
What if I told you for $1, I will introduce you to hundreds of entrepreneurs every single morning this week? From all across the country, you'll be able to talk to hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I'll coach you. I'll coach you for $1 this whole week, and I'll introduce you to some of my successful friends for $1 this week. Would you take part in that? Well, go to themorningmeetup.com because that's exactly what we're doing here, okay? The only organization that gathers entrepreneurs every single day for the betterment of entrepreneurship, okay? Every single day, Monday through Friday, we gather, we're growing, we're learning. We got a book club. Have you ever seen hundreds of entrepreneurs reading the same book? Every single chapter, every single day, we're growing together, okay? You need the environment to grow in. Themorningmeetup.com, $1. I'm gonna give you all this for $1. If you wanna stay, great. It's $79 a month after that. If not, no obligation. You can leave whenever you want. All right? themorningmeetup.com. I'll see you in the morning. Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. We find amazing people and amazing topics to do amazing stuff with. And we're back here with our illustrious host, Donni Wiggins.
We in these streets. We back in the streets. We excited about it too.
Right,
y'all, we about to turn up. The next 90 days of episodes.
Yes.
I'm manifesting.
Let's go.
They're epic.
Let's go.
They are epic. And there's going to be 2 episodes specifically over the next 90 days that get us into the #1 spot.
You talking good. Now, I'll start. Well, if it happens, I'm like, oh,
but
crap,
I can't manifest for you. You got to believe it with me.
No, if it happens, then we're like, oh, we did manifest that. Didn't we? I believe it.
Manifestation isn't put something out there and wait and see.
That's exactly what it sounded like you were talking about just now.
No, we're doing the work.
100%.
That means that we're about to give amazing content.
Absolutely.
Put people on all kinds of game. Talk to our audience the way that they need to receive it.
For sure.
Over these next 90 days in a way that y'all are going to think we're just getting started.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
So we are here. How's your entrepreneurial life been? Last couple days or?
In the last 20 minutes.
Yeah. I don't let them know.
I'm just getting back. I'm just getting back into the swing of things with work. It's hard to. I have been excited to get back to work, right? But you still have to listen to your body,
for sure.
Things like that, just the exhaustion and things like that. But I'm so excited to get back into work. I'm back with my coaching clients. I'm back in my groups. Back at the podcast.
Cool.
Now I am in, because my business really runs smoothly without me, if I'm being totally honest. It runs smoothly. I have a website issue on my main website that's happening right now that I have to pay some attention to and make sure that gets resolved. But my business runs really, really smoothly. And that's a good thing and a bad thing.
Real quick. Okay, go ahead. Finish that thought. And then I want to know what smoothly looks like. But why is a smoothly running business a good thing and a bad thing?
It's a good thing because I don't really have customer service issues. I don't have to respond to a lot of emails. I didn't get this. Where's that? Where's this? I have people in place where my business can run in my absence. Systems in place where my business can run in my absence. It's basically automated. Like I could choose to wake up and do nothing every day, and it would still happen.
Because I think people, they say, all right, we could not do, we could wake up and not do anything today, right?
Yeah.
But you can't do that forever unless, I don't know.
So.
How long do you think, if you just went away, right? You just went, I don't know, you just went away, you was locked up for, let's just say, I don't know. What would Donni get locked up for?
Nothing at all. Extortion.
I feel like she get locked up for some scamming or something like that.
Yeah.
Scamming?
I wouldn't say scam.
Nah.
Absolutely not.
I think Donni would probably get locked up for popping off on somebody.
That's a fact.
I've already done that. I will never do that again. Did you say 100%?
Let's just
Anyway,
let's say you got locked up for
or let's say you traveled to some phenomenal deserted island and was unreachable. What in the hell do I have to get locked up for?
Yo, this is my example. Okay, so let's say you got locked up for assault and battery or robbing a bank, right? Let's just say, and you got caught, and you were gone for X amount of time. How long do you think your business will run without you being able to touch it or run it?
So I have about another year's worth of content stockpile, videos and things that could still keep me relevant where people wouldn't even notice I was missing, with the exception of not being at events. And my team could create a reason for that. Donni had COVID twice, so she's not doing events this year.
I don't know though, because a part of this smoothly running thing is you go live, you see people, like we do the podcast, right? So you're in front of people.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
And that's a support. So for instance, the morning meetup, I think it can run for a good period of time.
What's that period of time?
I don't know.
Well, how do we know it's good?
Let me see. If I was to walk away and not do anything, and we're just orchestrating, no, I can't do anything. How long will Joe be able to step up? How long will Jen be able to step up and run everything? And then in my absence, people saying, well, we kind of miss Dave. I think I got 5 months.
So I was out for 3 weeks. And it was my second highest income month. So I know I at least have a month, right?
For sure.
We've tested that. And then I was out another week. I was sick for 3 weeks and then just out another week. So I was gone away from my business for a month. And you wouldn't notice it from a business perspective, from a show my face on social media and at events. Obviously, that was noticed. However, based on the way my business runs, so there's a couple of things that's working in my favor. I've got a ton of videos, like the one that I just posted yesterday that I filmed months ago, right?
I thought you was outside.
No, that was from Wall Street Trapper's private VIP dinner when he did his conference. So I have tons of video content. I literally have video content that could probably last for the next 18 months or more, because there's some videos that we can go back to and repurpose this content. And then I have the podcast, which lives forever. So people will continue to see that information on the podcast. And then I have a great team and systems in place that everybody plays their role. So I do believe that my business could still exist and hold steady for about a year. Before, and maybe even longer, I don't know, but I think at least a year. Now, would it experience explosive growth? Probably not, because my physical presence, my jumping on live and things like that, that's when I have explosive growth. But just a steady business, it could probably go for a year. Case in point, six-figure chick. Someone who was really, really amazing in the digital products world, passed away. And her brand is still growing. It's still going. Yeah. And I want to say Six-Figure Chick has been gone for almost 2 years at this point.
No, it has not. No.
Okay.
That was last year, I want to say.
Was it last year during COVID? Did she experience the COVID situation?
No.
Let's look.
I think it was early last year.
It wasn't no 2 years.
Okay. Well, she's definitely been
like
gone
a year and a half.
Let's look. You didn't know she passed?
You didn't know she passed? Cece?
Yeah. She passed from her cancer came back. And
but her business is
but I think it was last year. I know it wasn't that long ago.
You could be right, but I do know you're always right. I do know that people are still posting content on her behalf. I'm trying to scroll back. My Wi-Fi is a little sketchy.
Are the sales still hitting though? Yeah, it was August 2020.
Okay, so it's been a year, almost exactly. So she's been gone for a year. Her link is still here. Her page is still going. I go by and look at her comments sometimes. I still see that people are leaving comments about a product that they've recently purchased. And then based on the content that she had put together and had not yet released, she's got people who's working behind the scenes putting new stuff together. So, like, look at this. They have a new They have a 6-figure chick beanie. Like, this is something new. They're still running this business. This is a new thing. So
I would be interested in this. I guess I don't know if it's insensitive. Is it? No, it's just like good conversation.
It's just conversation. I mean, this is important.
I would wonder. I'm trying to like go to their page. Is the 6-figure chick?
It's _ the 6-figure chick _
Underscore. What?
Look right there. Cece, though, was an amazing entrepreneur who put out so much content consistently that I bet her team has so much to work with. And the beautiful thing about what's happening for her legacy is her husband and I believe one of her best friends are behind the scenes running her business.
Yeah, because I'm still getting emails from them about products and stuff they're still selling.
I still get emails.
That is so dope. I'm looking at the page and it's
ain't missed a
like
beat.
Nothing happened.
Hasn't missed a beat.
Like she's still giving away scholarships and
this is what you work hard for. This is what you work hard for. So I look at my business differently since last year. And we all know, I had my moment last year where I'm like, what happens if something happens to me? And so I'm trying to build, and I teach my clients to do this same thing.
Engagement and everything.
Yeah. You see this?
She did something right.
She did something absolutely right. And what she did was, what I noticed about Cece's brand is she made her impact about the information and the result. And she didn't make it about join CC in.
It wasn't about her.
It wasn't about her. And so that's why I talk about join 6-figure accelerator, join post to paid. It's not about me. I want you to get the result. What is the result you're looking for? I want you to be a coach. I want you to have a course, become a consultant. It's not me. And so this is why, like now inside of my groups, I'm bringing on coaches that can help inside the Q&As and things, because in order to build a sustainable business, as it relates to your question, how long can I be away from the brand and the business doesn't fall apart? It can't be 100% about you.
Joe, if something happened to me, okay, I'm locked away in a Yugoslavian.
He's locked away because he got caught up in a bad scandal with Mexican cartel.
You can't talk about it on TV, Donni, but I got a story for you.
Yeah, he got caught up.
He got me caught up.
I mean, because if I went away for assault, he went away in a bad drug deal gone wrong at the border with Mexican cartel.
Yes, so that happened. What do you do next?
I called the team.
Would you call the meeting?
I would call the meeting. Like, yo, we got to come together. David's gone missing wherever he is. I would check with Dre, make sure she's cool. We have plenty of content inside of the Dropbox that I can post to your page.
Yeah, we got years of that stuff.
Yeah, we have plenty of content to be posted. You have, I believe the morning meetup can definitely be ran. Jen can hold the morning meetup down. I'll hold down the podcast side. Christina, Laura hold down what they hold down. Jada hold down what she holds down. And it just works.
Yeah, it sounds easier.
It's gonna be a struggle to figure out the process of it.
Yeah.
But I believe, give us a week. I believe a week we can definitely make it work.
Yeah. I think the magic in running a business is the ideas and concepts that keep the business running. Right? So every day it's like something that I'm thinking through to say, okay, hey, yo, like I put it in the chat today. These are the 8 things that we need done. Y'all pick which number you're doing.
You were a whole leader this morning.
I'm trying. But yes, and then there's like always going to be like internal conflicts with somebody that has an issue with somebody else as the team grows.
But that's not even your role as a CEO to be a part of anyway.
Not a part of, but you have to make sure that you do. If you have issues with team members, you don't just step away and say, hey, y'all figure that out.
No, but you have an operations person, you have HR, like they figure that out.
Yeah, but what if somebody has an issue with the HR operations person?
So what you're doing is forecasting issues that likely won't happen in a brand run like yours.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right?
So just
does it happen?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So check this out. We got a new operations team member, right? Which
Newer than I'm aware of?
No, no. But there's some people that have been there for a while, and obviously they handle things differently.
Is it the people that I said to you, trust me, there's an issue there?
You didn't say that.
I did too, and you said no,
there's not. No,
they love it.
No, there's not. There. Oh, you might have been right.
I was very right.
However,
you're gullible.
Everyone is super duper valuable to the team.
Everybody is valuable.
So there's always going to be an issue that has to be fixed.
So here's the thing, right? If number one, the lesson here is build a business that can sustain itself and continue to run and flourish without you. But just as if you're here, even in your absence, there may be times where team has to change. Like, we can't assume that everybody who is a good fit today is going to be a good fit in your absence.
100%.
So in the event that there are conflicts and things like that, either we get on the same page or you find another job.
But if I'm not there,
you don't have to be there. You don't have to be there because we're still working the David Shands brand. We're still a team working the David Shands brand. This is the person now, based on order of operation, who is now in charge. This is what's going on now.
You know what my issue is? My issue is, and this is really good, that we need to have a conversation of if something happens to me.
Yep.
What happens?
What are your wishes for your business?
And that's probably what Cece did.
She did because she was prepared. Like I can see that. From what I remember, and if any of you guys are CC fans, I don't want to be disrespectful for not recalling the information correctly, but I remember her best friend, I think her name is Dion, and so many other people who are behind the scenes of her brand now. I remember them going on video, going live, all doing a tribute to her, and they were saying this time CC knew that she was dying because she had cancer before that went into remission. She beat it. This time when she got cancer, they knew immediately that this was it. And I remember, I think her name is Dion, crying, saying, can you guys believe that she had just been given confirmation that she was dying? And all she could do was call me, number one, to make sure I was okay, but number two, to give me instructions.
She's a legend.
She is a legend. Cece is a legend. She changed the game for a lot of people in the digital product space. For sure. For freaking sure.
Yo, and a year later, we're still having conversations.
About her.
And
it doesn't feel like she's gone.
Yo, I just learned a very valuable lesson. I need to see past today. Like, like worst case scenario, if something happens to me, what happens? Yeah. So, all right, okay, I'll ask you. Do you think Joe will be prepared to take the torch?
Do I think Joe would be prepared to take the torch? I think that without Joe, things could easily fall apart. I do think that Joe is a big chunk of glue in your business. I think Joe would need a support team, though. You would need people around you, just like he has around him right now. Doesn't have the
leadership to take the flag and say, guys, follow me. Here's the play.
That's my only concern. So I think Joe has the skill set and you know exactly what to do in the business. But I also think that y'all don't know Joe. He either real nice or he's a real jerk.
Depending on how much money you get. You know what I mean?
Right.
If it's a shaky month, Joe, humble. You know what? I need to get myself together. You know what I mean? Like
back in the day, some years ago, one would have assumed that Joe was a pushover.
Yeah. Now
it's like, Joe actually is pushing. He's doing the pushing.
Yeah. We're talking about you too, Aaron. Joe, did he call and apologize to you? No. He owes you an apology. Joe, you owe him an apology.
I apologize. I was very snappy and rude with you.
Yeah, he getting too much money. You know what I mean?
Savage is just...
He got too much time on his hands. He's not working anymore. He got time to think of comebacks.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I got mad at Joe.
Right now, yeah, I feel like I wish you had a mic so we
So
could,
what I think needs to happen is for both of us, because I honestly have thought through in the event that something happens to me, what would happen to keep my business going? And mentally I have a plan, but I haven't communicated that plan with the people who should be communicated with. So perhaps, I don't know if it works the same as a will, but I would like to leave video evidence, like record a video. Like, this is what I would like to see happen with my business. This is my long-term vision. So whoever is responsible now for carrying this torch, this is the vision that David Shands has for the business. You put it all out there. And Dre is the person who keeps it. So you don't have to necessarily communicate too much of your vision right now if that's not what you're prepared to do. But you've put this out. And Dre, you have this tucked away. If something happens to me, play this for the team.
That is lit. I think one of the issues that I have is I don't have a clear second in charge.
Yeah.
There's not a clear, is that clear to you? Like, who would be like second in charge?
I would automatically assume Jen.
But
as far as, I just feel like Jen knows your whole...
She knows it.
Jen knows the whole overall scope of the business. And I feel like it'll be like a sit down like, hey, Jen, who does what? Like, I think it would be a Q&A with Jen as far as like, what happens if this happened or what direction this goes.
Yeah, but it's not a clear... She knows how to run the systems and stuff like that, but it's not a clear... If my voice is not here, whose voice is the loudest?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
do you have somebody like that?
Mm-hmm.
Who would it be?
Right now, Kenny.
But he's not in your business.
He's not in my business, but Kenny would absolutely step up and keep my business running.
But he has his own business to keep running.
I got clients with multiple businesses successfully.
Yeah, but no. Kenny is a locked-in,
is there anybody on my team right now? Absolutely not. But if something were, like, my plan was, if something happened, Kenny would be the person to carry my business out. And it's not even...
That's selfish though, Donni.
No, it's not, because what Kenny would do is find the right team to do that. He wouldn't have to be the face and all this stuff. Kenny knows how to put people in position to make sure Donnie's vision is carried out. It would be his responsibility, as I'm thinking of it right now, it would be his responsibility to make sure that whatever needs to happen, happens. And I know that he is qualified to do it. And when I'm talking about qualified to do it, I'm not talking about just being able to manage systems. And I know that he fully understands how to manage systems, how to put team in place, how to grow revenue, how to create new products and ideas, how to continue to be inventive, how to run ads, like every aspect of the business, because I've done it and we've done it together. And I know intimately from a business perspective how his business runs. If something happened to me today, I would hand all access over to him and he would figure it out.
My question is, though, why would he do that? All right, look, I know you're enjoying the episode, but I got to tell you, finally, you asked for it, and we created a Patreon, okay? We created an inner circle. We have amazing stories, amazing information, how-tos from the episodes. The only thing we're missing is a community. So it's about that time. We put together our Patreon, we put together a community because we have to have conversation around the information. So even this podcast we're listening to right now, there needs to be conversation. I want to hear what you got. Like, let's throw some stuff back and forth. And because we're like-minded, we're all going in the same direction. When we connect in a community, we can connect on other stuff outside the community because we're building real relationships. Okay, so check out the Patreon. We got 3 tiers. I don't care what tier you join. The support is appreciated. Okay, thank you so much. Now back to the episode.
Why would he do that?
Is it more important that he continues to grow his own business, or does he take his eye off the ball to manage yours?
So he wouldn't necessarily be taking his eye off the ball.
That's what happens.
No.
Donni, think about your business. First off, if something happens to you, can I have post-to-paid?
Post-to-paid is lit.
Can I have that joint?
That's gonna be my daughter's. I'm grooming her to take over that.
Okay. All right, I forgot my real question. No, that was a real question. Oh, okay.
That was a real question?
Yeah, I just want to know. Try to get it on camera. If my thing is, if like, okay, do you believe more in, okay, that's not a good question. So if something happened to me, would you bet on my business being more successful than you focusing on your own, or?
No, but that's not even the question. So let me just say this. If something happened to you today, your best bet would be to put me in charge. I'm not coming in and taking your place or being your voice, but we think alike. Mm-hmm. I know how to deliver to your audience, and I would ensure that Joe and everybody else on the team are continuing to run. But when it's time to be a voice or create new products and talk about new vision and direction, at this time, I would be your best bet.
Donnie's in charge.
I would definitely say Donni.
I'm like, at this time, I would be your best bet.
Well, let's trade. And okay, so I'll put you in charge of mine. I just need that post-to-pay joint. Like, it's so classic.
Create one for him. Create a post-to-pay for David.
Yeah, it's easy. I would not stop running my business. I would not stop running my business. I would be adjusting to life happening and saying, my best friend's business is gone. He's got kids. He's got a wife. He's got this, that, and the other. He's got an amazing team and a vision that needs to be carried out that doesn't need to die with him. Whatever we got to do, y'all, let's get it.
But you manage other businesses anyway, right? Like you have like complete control over certain aspects of people's business.
She like guides, but the business, the owner still has to go execute.
Yeah.
Somebody still has to go execute. So in a lot of times in those particular situations, it's still the team that's executing. So you just need someone who shares in your vision. Mm-hmm. Anybody, you need someone who shares in your vision that you trust to make sure that money is going to go to the right place and that the vision continues to get carried out. I might take a little bit more money than I'm supposed to. I might change the splits up just a little
cool,
bit.
Dre's cool.
Throw me a raise today.
I might issue myself a raise that we didn't discuss during your lifetime.
This is literally a conversation that I've never heard entrepreneurs talk about.
What did I say? Yo, did I manifest it? Did I manifest it? What did I say?
Man, that's my vaccine arm. Stop, yo, this shit hurts.
Did I start this episode off by saying, y'all about to get stuff y'all ain't got from us yet?
That's a fact.
This is a serious conversation that needs to be had because they say the richest place in the world is graveyards. Graveyards, because so many people die with not just their ideas, but so many people have 100% of their business in their own heads and it's so disorganized. There are no systems. There's no good team and structure in place that when they die, their business dies with them. I ain't working this hard for that.
This makes sense too, because in other communities like the super wealth, they use the words like, I'm grooming my son, I'm grooming my daughter to take care of the business. Meaning there's a conversation that they're already having. Son, daughter, I need to show you how to run this business. You need to work in it, have every aspect. Golly, almost like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I'm grooming my daughter.
Yeah.
So I strategically made my daughter get a job at Chick-fil-A as one of her first jobs because you need to go in there. Right now, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm kind of all over the place. You're 15, you can work now. I want you can't work at the mall. You can't do that because their systems are all, look at the clothes. They're all over the place. The experience isn't great. You're working at Chick-fil-A. Why? Because I need you to get that structure. I need you to work hands-on and see how they run the ship. After she did that, and then when she went to college, I told her, you can't get another job. You work for me. My daughter works for me.
You're grooming her.
How long was she at Chick-fil-A?
My daughter manages post-to-paid. Wow. 100% of the way. That's her job. My daughter manages customer service. Yeah. My daughter manages my 6-figure EDU, my 6-figure accelerator Facebook group.
She's going to be a monster.
My daughter manages my appointments calendar for all of my sales calls and things like that. That's her role. I am and it wasn't, I'm preparing her in that way for a couple of reasons. Everybody's journey isn't perfect. And my daughter is a junior in college and still really doesn't have any idea of what she wants to do. We're still tossing around ideas and things like that. So my thought process was, let me groom you for leadership in my role. So when you graduate, I don't insult you with an entry-level position. You're doing the entry-level positions now, but if you don't figure out something that you want to go out and do in this world, you have a leadership position here in my company. That's going to pay you a 6-figure salary because you've done the work. I'm not just giving my daughter a 6-figure role in my company. She's working in all of the entry-level positions right now and mastering all those components. So when she does graduate, I don't know what that position looks like yet. It depends on what the team components looks like, but I'm grooming her for this. And she knows. And I even told her when I had COVID last year, at that time, when I had COVID last year, me and Kenny were kind of rocky. And I told her, Dej, listen, I also had her work in Kenny's company to learn about money and credit. My daughter learned about money and credit. She was the person who analyzed the credit reports, and all she would do was analyze the credit report changes that came in, and she would have to record a video to send to the customer. It sounds like an entry-level job, but you're learning about money and credit. You're learning about management. You're learning about organization and team meetings. So I told her last year, if anything happens to mommy, call Kenny. Period. You know what to do. You know what's running. You got password access to everything. Get with Kenny and figure this out.
I like that. Dang. I didn't even think about that until right now.
And now it's going to be on your mind because it's so important. We don't get to choose the time, day, nor the hour. And, we got this right now and I got your back. Like, I'm there. The business is, not only is it going to sustain itself, it's going to grow with me, right? Because I have something to prove. Like, I have something to prove. This is what I agreed to do. It has to happen or it has to happen. But you need to get Dre full instructions. You need to get it written. And I'm sure there's some legal.
That's tough for me. I'm still working through how to be a husband and a business partner.
Well, and I don't mean business partner. I just mean you need to have a conversation with Dre that says, let's just say it was me. You need to have a conversation with Dre that says, listen, I'm having a conversation today with Donni, or I had a conversation with Donni. I don't want my business to end. I want to make sure we're on the same page there. And whatever she needs, or whoever it is, whatever they need, make sure they have it. This is my vision for my business. I want it to outgrow. I want it to continue to provide for you and the kids forever.
Yeah.
Make sure she knows that. And what we both need to do, because I know how to handle like my money. I know, in the will where my money is being allocated, who gets what. It was really simple for me because I'm a single woman legally.
Who gets your bread?
My mom and my daughter. So, and then they have some instructions on a couple of other places where money should go. But they essentially will be in control of my estate. But what I didn't, and so I know where the money from my business is going, but what I didn't think about was planning for the future of my business after I'm gone. I got to do that ASAP.
Yeah. Golly. Man. Okay. I need to figure it out.
And I think it has something to do with, get with Kenny, because I think it has something to do with, I think you guys are already working on putting together a trust.
Yeah, the irrevocable trust.
And I think in your trust, you have the trustees, and then you decide, I don't want to get too deep into that because I don't really know all of the legalities, but I think that you can cover that in your trust.
Yeah, I think my man Marvin, he said it like controlling your money from the grave.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like having stuff outlined on what happens to your money even after you're gone and thinking that far. Speaking of which, with the kids, Derek Gray said something interesting, which I guess it could go either way. And when I posted it, I thought it'd be 60-40. 40% agree, 60% like, maybe it's a different perspective. I don't agree. But when he talked about it, it made me think. So he said, I'm not slowing down on making kids. I'm going to make more babies.
Okay.
And I'm not going to make them do anything that they don't want to do. Okay. I'm not putting them to work. If you want to work, great. You straight?
I'm good.
You all right?
Yes.
You cool?
Yes.
You sure?
Stop.
It's still going. That's crazy. Was it the Sprite? This is wild.
I'm good.
Okay. Anyway. Anyway. All right. So what he said was, hey, listen, if my kids want to stay in the house and walk around and sing songs all day, I'm cool with that. He said, I am providing a financial bubble around my family that they won't have to do anything if they don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And then my question to him was, what about the fact that 80% of millionaires are self-made, meaning there's probably a 20% chance that your kids won't carry the torch? He said, I don't really care. I'm not really worried about them taking the business. I want them to enjoy their life however that looks for them. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, well, doesn't that spoil the child? Because, and not saying they have to struggle, but putting them through some things can create some sort of character. Mm-hmm. What is your perspective on that? Can days just, I don't want to go to college. I just want to sit home. I'm going to watch TV. I'm going to chill. I'm going to spend your money and it's up. You got enough money for that to happen. What is your perspective?
So I understand why he's saying what he's saying, and I agree with it partially. I believe that, especially Black people, we say what we say because we say things like that, or people like him say things like that because all we have known is struggle. For sure. And hard work. Struggle and hard work. Struggle and hard work. What's happening right now for so many of us, this is new. Like, Black people have been entrepreneurs for forever, but this influx of success is truly new. So I get that he does not want that life for his kids. And I say that I partially agree because I told my daughter, you don't have to go to college. You can literally sit at home and kind of just figure things out. The reason, though, that she has to do something. So when I think about kids being spoiled, it's very different from kids being rude and obnoxious, mm-hmm. right? I don't mind my daughter being spoiled. She is spoiled. She doesn't have to work hard for a lot of things. She's not working in my company because I require her to work hard. She's working in my company so that she can continue my vision and my legacy, and she always has something that can produce income for her. She's working in my company to gain wisdom and to be able to survive without me, right? Because right now, if something happens, the first person she's coming to is me. Well, if I am no longer here, I want to have taught you something and introduced you to enough experiences where you can make good decisions on your own. Mm-hmm. So that's that. Deja does not, if I had enough money to gift her millions of dollars, enough millions to provide for the rest of her life and her kids, and she didn't work, that honestly would be fine with me. But what she would have to do is learn about money. So she would have to continue to become knowledgeable. So what we're not going to do is blow my money. Mm-hmm. We're not going to do that, right? So you're not just going to sit around and spend my money on BS. If I had the ability to gift that, I would require that she still builds character.
That makes sense.
Through things like, go take a class or something, go volunteer here. But you have to learn about money. You have to learn about life insurance. You have to learn about the things that really matter in life. At the end of the day, when people are on their deathbeds, I don't think that they really be like, man, I worked so hard. I worked my fingers to the bone and I'm proud of that. Or I'm grateful for them. They're going to miss their family. They're worried about the financial status of who they're leaving behind. They're worried about who's going to be responsible for the things that mean something to them. And I would make sure she was equipped to make those decisions well without me.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, it's really, when he said it, it kind of, because I always had a belief that, like, I'm not giving my kids anything, right? And there's a lot of successful people that, when it comes to their kids, they got to get it how daddy or mommy got it.
I agree with that too.
So I guess it just depends on your perspective. But that was the first time I actually heard it out loud. I'm like, yo, you're right. Because none of this stuff is guaranteed.
None of it is guaranteed.
What if you send your kid to work? You send your kid to work 6 hours a day after school, right? Because you want to teach them a lesson. But if that happens from sophomore, junior, and senior year, 3 years, like, what about those hours you could have spent with your child?
With your child, yeah.
What's more important?
What I have started to do in recent years, maybe the last 3 to 5 years, my focus has been on, it used to irritate the crap out of my mom that I didn't force, or not force, but that I didn't talk to Deja more and more and repeatedly and consistently about what are you going to major in? What do you want to be in life? And my position on it was let her figure it out, because I was forced and I wasted a whole lot of time doing something that I ultimately is useless to me at this point. So I wanted her to understand that there are options and there's so many things to explore in the world. It's almost ridiculous to try to force juniors and seniors in high school to figure this out, right? Some people are born with their concepts and ideas, based on grooming or family legacy, and it works. But many of us are not. And I wasn't going to make her feel bad for not being sure. And in the last 3 to 5 years, what's been really important to me is how important is this in the grand scheme of life? Like, if today was my last day and I spent my last day pressuring my child about what you're going to major in college, would I be okay with that? Would I have wished that I instead spent my last day at brunch and creating memories and at home talking about things? So, I believe that we have a responsibility as a parent. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Like, you still have to make sure your kids learn valuable life principles and lessons. And they still have to be a productive citizen and human. She still has to contribute to this world. But it doesn't have to come in the form, for me, of her working hard and being stressed out over money and things like that. I'm doing that. I'm already used to working hard, right? I want her, and it's so much easier for me than I saw for my mom.
Yeah.
And I see me now being able to relieve my mom of responsibilities that now older people deal with when you get up, in your 60s and 70s and 80s. She doesn't have those worries because right now I can handle it, right? And that's my plan going forward. But I think it's essentially important for us to make sure our kids live better lives than
100%.
us, but not irresponsible lives. Like, there's nothing that says you got to go out here and, like, why you got to work hard?
Yeah, I feel you. My daughter's lazy.
She's lazy right now.
Golly, she's lazy.
She's lazy right now.
And I don't know how to get her out of that. Or does she need to get out of it?
Does she need to? So okay, here's the thing. She's lazy. You probably have to stay on top of her to clean her room, pick things up and help around the house. She probably doesn't want to go get the diaper for the baby.
Right. But you know what the crazy thing is? She'll just get up and cook stuff. Like, she's 11. She's making French toast and stuff. I'm like, first off, I don't know how to make French toast.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. So she'll go up and bake cookies, and she likes to cook.
But what you have to do then is support and nurture that part of her personality that is productive. If she likes to cook, then maybe let's look at some young adult teen, some bigger kids / preteen cooking classes. Like, sign her up in somebody's group membership who does cooking, and you nurture that, and you may help her to discover a passion. So she may be lazy when it comes to chores, but she's amazing when it comes to her love for cooking, and that could produce a good life for her. We're not perfect in everything. Bro. We have some areas that we fall short and we just don't want to do it, but we're amazing in other things.
So do you let them stay in their room all day and be on TikTok and weird stuff?
I think that...
You saying yes, Aaron? Go to that mic real quick. I don't even know if it's on. Well, we'll come back to you after Joe.
Hey, Joe, is this mic on?
Number 3, just slide it. It might be. We'll let you do it, Joe. Okay, but go ahead. What were you saying?
Do you just let them stay in their rooms all day? Not every single day.
So what do? Like, you let them watch TV, or?
Yes, because they are like. Didn't you watch TV? But the thing is,
my dad didn't let that happen all day. Like, go outside and play. And now, it's crazy because we can't
go outside and play.
We can't send our kids outside to play anymore.
No. Now, do you let them sit at home and watch TV all day? Absolutely not. But you wouldn't let her cook all day either. You wouldn't let her eat all day either. You don't want her to sit and read books all day. You'd be like, yo, come on, put the book down. You don't want her to do homework all day. Yo, come on, like, put the homework away. Go do something fun.
Nah, I would let her rock out with that.
There's nothing I think that you want people to do all day. So is some TV good? And then ask yourself, so we speak in these absolutes. Every day she does this, when really, did she just do it 3 days this week?
Yeah.
All the time she's doing this, when really, is it just every time you walk past her room?
It's all the time. It's all the time. Like, my daughter has a routine. And I guess I'm starting to let her be her, right? And just kind of grow into who she is. But my thing is, am I crippling her by letting her do some things that she doesn't even realize could be having a lasting effect on you? Like, you're creating laziness. Or will you find yourself... Okay, so Aaron...
It's possible. Before we let Aaron speak, my question to you would be, if she's not doing that, what would you rather her be doing? And are you creating the space for her to do the things you'd rather her be doing?
So it's my fault.
She's 11 question. And she falls under your leadership.
What would I rather her be doing?
What would you rather her be doing? Right, she don't know either.
I only know what I don't want her to do, but I don't have I can't even say, yo, why don't you just... I could say, do your homework or read a book. It's like, what book? And why am I reading this book?
So if you don't have a solution to offer, she's 11 years old. She's under your leadership. You can't just say, cut off the TV and don't give her some more direction.
Yes.
You have to identify between you and Dre, what would we rather be seeing her do?
That's interesting. And Aaron, you have how many kids? How many daughters?
I got 2 daughters.
2 daughters.
And right now, me and my coaching group are going over a book called Conscious Parenting. So according to the book and everything I'm learning just as just raising kids, me and reading books about it, it's important to, just like you said, you feel like your daughter's a little lazy, but she'll get up and cook and do all those things. Right. In my opinion, that means she's not lazy. She just doesn't want to do the things that you want her to do. And it's important for a child to be able to find themselves through nothingness. Yeah. See, a lot of times...
Find themselves through nothingness.
Right.
That is the smartest thing you've ever said, Aaron. That is good.
Yeah, it's important for a kid to just be okay with being by themselves, being silent, just... using their imagination instead of saying, hey, you ain't doing nothing. Go do this. Go do that. Go learn how to do this. Go read this book. Yeah. They're actually reading a book inside of their mind because they're still learning about the world.
That's a fact. And I guess I was comparing it to my parents. So my dad would say, boy, cut the TV off, go outside and play. I could have been going outside and joining a gang. I could have been going outside doing drugs. Meaning that could have been more harsh than me just sitting there watching cartoons and eating cereal.
But even on top of that, your dad told you to stop doing this and go do that. He had direction on where you would go. I agree with Aaron. Like, even us, like, we'll sit. It may not be watching TV, but whatever it is, when you're sitting just in your solitude, really thinking through and learning more about yourself. I just don't believe... I think that we have customarily created this...
Customarily?
Customarily.
You think it's real, Joe?
Gosh.
Go ahead.
Please do me. Please. I think we have customarily created this idea of what we think life is supposed to look like. And because our parents did it, we have to do it. Because this worked for me, it has to work for my kid. And I think that's why we have so many screwed up people in the world, because we're not allowing them to find themselves.
Yo, that's crazy, because I could be interrupting. You know how you'll have the larva in the cocoon and they break out and be a butterfly, right? So her like sitting there watching TV, if I try to take her out of that, maybe that's something she'll always desire to go back because she didn't get a chance to do it when she was a kid. Or I'm not even providing a space for her to realize, yo, I don't want to sit here and watch TV all day. This is boring. I want to do something. Yo, this was a really, really good conversation, especially because I'm always torn between, do I just groom her to be an entrepreneur? Do I tell her how bad jobs are? Do I tell her...
So you don't project your opinions on her.
I could be a projector.
You don't project your. Not only could you forcing her to stop watching TV. You don't watch TV, so you don't want her to watch TV. That's your business, not hers.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm judging laziness off of myself because I'll walk in the room after my morning call and my wife be in the bed and I'll be looking like,
Yeah.
I mean, judging her a little bit, Joe. And she's like, boy, shut up.
I work with this baby all day. That's my job. But you could also she could be watching things that are inspiring her and molding her.
She be watching Moesha. It's crazy. She's a little girl. She watching Moesha.
Moesha is an amazing show.
You can learn a lot from Moesha.
And all that.
Moesha is a show that you want her to watch. And that's what I was going to say. More than monitoring her watching TV while you have no other
TikTok.
While you have no other offers or suggestions for her to do, maybe be more concerned with what she's watching on TV.
Yes, or help her, like maybe even guide her into what do you like? What would you rather be doing? Is there anything you'd rather be doing? And she might say no, but she might say, yo, you know what? Right now, if I could, I would bake cookies.
And
then we can go bake the cookies together.
Shift the conversation. Like, yo, you watch Moesha a lot. What do you like about that show?
I need to have more conversations.
Just talk to her. And I think that as parents, especially African-American parents, we are so, do what I say, this is what I think, so it's right, instead of saying, why do you like this? Mm-hmm. What about this is attractive to you? What is appealing to you? Is there something else you would rather do? Do you want me to take you somewhere? If so, where? Like, start to talk to them and figure out what they like and don't like. And then you may get ideas about what she may want to do with her future. But I also think it's a little premature. Again, there's a percentage of people who figure it out, but I think it's a bit premature to be trying to force her to decide what she wants to do with her future right now. Trust me, as she gets older, once she becomes a teenager and she becomes more expressive and these conversations start to mature, you're going to see that she's been watching you the whole time. She's been watching Dre the whole time. Like, I hear my daughter say things to her friends. Like, I used to say to her all the time in high school, I go out, my job is to help all these people get their lives together. And then here you are just doing this random stuff. Like, why can't her? Oh my God. It used to burn me up that I could help other people fix their situations and figure things out. But with her, it was just like, I don't know. I'm going to stay in my room. I don't know. And I hear her talk now and give advice to her friends. I see the type of stuff she posts on her Instagram page. And I'm like, she heard me.
She heard you.
She heard me. You got it. You got it in your time, and you got it when it was appropriate for you to get it. But you got it. That's the important thing. And so while she doesn't necessarily know what she wants to do in a career, she's 19 years old. I didn't figure it out at 19, but while she doesn't necessarily know what she wants to do as a career, watching me has shown her I do want time freedom. So as she's considering different careers, because there are things that she's interested in, and then we'll go and we'll talk about the pros and cons. And she's like, well, that wouldn't allow me the flexibility to travel. I do know that I want to do that. That wouldn't allow me the flexibility to impact people. I do know that I want to do that. She's watching and she's learning, and she's going to figure it out in her time. But if I pressure her, if you continue to pressure Corey, what you could potentially do is create a relationship where she withdraws from you completely. You never know what she's thinking. She holds it in and she's scared to express herself because of your opinion and your projections on her.
And I think I'm on the right path because this has been an internal thing for me. Because I do let her, I'm not like about to fight with you on what you want to do. You feel me? Like, I think my number one thing is like, all right, well, if you eat and you leave stuff around, I'm like, yo, do that. Like, come on, get that together. But I haven't really told her what to do. Like, I remember bringing her to the kiosk one time and kind of a couple times, but she acted like she didn't want to be there. And I'm the type of person, like, I'm like, all right, well, sit down. You don't got to say nothing if you don't want.
She probably didn't want to be there.
But Dre, on the other hand, she's like, yo, you need to go. You need to learn. So we got like that dynamic.
And that's okay too. It's not a bad thing to try to provide direction and feedback. But as parents and as grownups, we kind of have to understand what the goal is. Was the goal for bringing her to the kiosk to just get her out of the house because she's lazy and you want her to do something other than watch TV? Or was the goal to lovingly teach her a skill that she might like?
I've been doing it wrong. Well, I haven't done anything at all. Just in my mind, I should like at least be guiding. Aaron, what's up?
All right, when you said about her watching TV and stuff like that, I think just piggybacking on what Donni said, is about the togetherness and no agenda. Like, bring her to the kiosk because you want to be around her more. Not bring her to the kiosk so she can learn how to do this. No, come to the kiosk because I love being around you. And make her feel like, oh, wow, you want to be around me? Yeah, I love being around you so much. I want you to come to the kiosk.
That was a really good perspective.
Good
and then
where you been at, man? He going
that's good stuff.
crazy right now. That's good.
And then as far as like watching Moesha, instead of wondering why she likes Moesha, sit down and watch Moesha with her.
It's a lit show. But she like, got an old soul, I guess. Like she be watching that kind of stuff.
But just sit down and watch it with her.
Yeah. And you'll be amazed. So let me just say this too.
I'm not gonna sit down. Well, maybe I can sit there and do other stuff, but be there.
No.
Togetherness.
I'm not gonna sit there and watch Moesha.
Yeah, togetherness.
But you need to.
Why?
Like, how do you expect her?
That's her time.
No, let me tell you.
I'm invading on her time?
You're not. But let me tell you this, because what's going to happen is she's going to grow older. You guys are going to grow apart. And it's like, she doesn't want to do.
How you know, Joe?
Because I've experienced it with my own parents.
You grow apart from your parents?
Yes.
Why?
Because I've personally felt like, we didn't there's some things I wish I had as a child. Like, I wish my father was my best friend. I wish I can go to my parents and talk to them about certain things. But my dad had told me one time, go to school, get a good job, but you need to make sure that you major in something that makes over $50,000 a year because what you want to do don't make no money. So it steered me in the wrong direction of choosing all these different majors, wasting lots of money in school. Yeah. And then my parents were working, they had us young. So it's they were working, leaving us home alone, things happened. And then I kind of built up this resentment towards my parents.
All right, I'm gonna sit down and watch TV with her.
You should. Seriously.
I'm new. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm definitely.
It's 30 minutes.
For one, I'm trying to figure out how to. And it's actually shorter now because ain't no commercials.
True.
So I'm learning. All this stuff is new to me. Being a father, being a husband, balancing all of that stuff. And being a leader of a bunch of people in the team, thank you, because I fall short in mad ways.
Yeah, we're all learning, and that's the beauty of the process, and that's why content like this, Social Proof Podcast, is so important because I think why people love the David and Donni segment so much is because we literally unfold new thoughts and ideas and figure it out in real time. One of the things that helped me. With Deja, because I don't know if most people who are entrepreneurs want their kids to be entrepreneurs too, but I know deep down inside, I wanted my daughter to not even think twice about a 9 to 5, right? Just because of my projection of what 9 to 5 was for me. But there are people who love their 9 to 5. So here's what I shifted to do. First of all, when my daughter was 11, she was sweet as pie and also lazy. I had to stay on top of her. Pick this up. Things like that, right? And the moment she turned 13 years old, she became a little terror. Who is this person? She didn't want to sleep. Deja. She didn't want to sleep in the bed with me anymore. She used to sleep in the bed with me. She used to come and kiss me all the time, crawl in my lap, mommy this, mommy that. Deja became a freaking nightmare the day she turned 13. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's a 13-year-old girl omen, but they did too. The moment my daughter turned 13, she went from my sweet baby that I bragged about to stay away from me. Do I need to lock my doors at night? Not that bad. But she started to act out and find herself. And I think that happened because I sheltered and directed so much. I felt like I was letting her grow through ideas, but when I think about it now, I auto-suggested a lot of stuff to her. Oh, you like to put outfits together. Let's start a fashion line. Oh, you like to put on earrings.
Crap.
Let's do earrings.
Oh, I did that many times.
Auto-suggested so much to her that when she became a teenager and went to high school, she sees all this stuff that I didn't auto-suggest. And now Now, for me, she's trying these new things with her friends, and I feel like she's acting out. Oh, you want to stay locked up in your room all day? You want to do this? You want to do that? I feel like it's acting out when it was really her finding herself. When it came to me trying to encourage entrepreneurship, my daughter has worked for me in every business since she could. Mm-hmm. And I would tell her, you don't want to get a job. You don't want to do this because you can't do this, this, and the other. And when you do that to kids, they want to go the other way. They want to figure it out. Like, why? I don't want to be like you.
Right. Job seemed lit, too, because you get to hang out with your friends.
You get checks. This is what I did. I made her get a job. I didn't make her. She wanted to get a job. And I used to be so offended. Like, why would you want to get a job? I could pay you more. You could work for me. Mommy, I want a job. I let her go get a job. Now, she's working over the summer. We take summer trips. Her cousin has a summer trip. She wants to go places with her friends. And she comes to me the first time, Mommy, I'm not going to be able to go to Miami with Brianna. And what do I say to my boss? Oh, you have to ask for permission. Go and ask your boss for permission. Mm-hmm. And it was a yes. But then it was my friends are having a kickback during the daytime and I'm scheduled to work. I can't go. So I had to honor some of what she wanted to do. And it taught her a lesson like, okay, now I see, based on what my mom was telling me and my experience, this might not be the angle. Let me think about what I could do to start my own business.
It's like the parent that forces the kid to smoke cigarettes. To say, oh, you want to smoke cigarettes? Go ahead, smoke the joints.
Smoke.
And then you realize, you're like, whoa, hold on. I don't like, but you let them do what they wanted to do to find out, this ain't what I want to do.
This ain't what I want to do.
Or they might find out, this is what I like to do, and I'm happy, and I want to move up the corporate ladder. This is a really, really good conversation for me as I learn this parenthood thing.
Balancing parenthood with entrepreneurship. We talked a lot. So in this episode, you guys, we talked a lot about what happens to your business in the event that something happens to you that takes you out of your business. You die, you go to jail, whatever happens. Are you planning for your business to outlive you?
Hold on, I want to ask, Ernestine. Ernestine just got here. How are you?
Hey.
Hey guys. Hey family.
All tanned and stuff.
So you have, you're involved in a business, but if something ever happened to your husband,
yes,
do you think you can uphold the business? And would you not give up what you're doing, but would you step up and keep the business running?
I absolutely know I could uphold the business. But the reason why I know that is because we have a team in place, right, systems in place, and a plan already in place. So would I step in and become Jay Morrison?
So we have a plan if something happens to the main leader.
Y'all had that conversation like, if something happens to
me. We had intentional conversations, and we've also had intentional conversations with some of the leaders in our organization. So it wouldn't just all fall on me. But we have a plan in place.
Mm. Now, let me ask you this. Have you gone, because this is the piece that I'm missing. Like, I have the plan, but I hadn't legally solidified any of this stuff, number one. And number two, though I have the team in place, I have a plan for the team that I hadn't communicated to them yet.
Yeah, see, I think the communication part obviously is key, but because of the type of business that we have to have a contingency plan. We have to have someone who's able to...
Oh, because you're regulated.
Because we're a federally regulated company. So it's not like, oh, what are we going to do? Like, no, it's already written out what the plan's going to be.
Awesome.
So the person that's next in line knows that they're next in line to the throne. So
and you feel fully confident because Jay is the face of this brand right now. You feel fully confident that if something were to happen to him, the business could continue to grow and develop per his vision.
Yes, absolutely.
For a long period of time.
Special though.
I think
we're so special to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Almost like Steve Jobs, right? So we saw the decline of Apple when Steve passed away. It wasn't as innovative, and for some reason, I guess they kind of picked it back up. But I guess because it's still
They got the
Apple's still here.
Yeah.
I think that obviously you guys being the face of your brand and my husband being the face of his. Like my husband's a very special person, so his spirit is kind of what makes the brand. Mm. But because of all the systems and procedures we put in place, it would still live on.
Yeah.
Mm. This is a good conversation to have.
This was a good one.
And it's really, I don't know. I don't have a a second in charge or somebody that, well, now we just established that you'll kind of take over and I'll get posted paid if something happens to you. So I think that this is a good conversation. We got that, right? It's recorded. So we got that. That's the beginning of the conversation.
Anywho.
Right? You good?
Yes, I'm good.
All right, cool.
We literally just thought it out. We have a temporary plan in place because as both of our brands and businesses grow and as we continue to groom our leaders within our organizations, we'll have a perfect plan mapped out.
Yeah. You know what my thing is, though? I groom people to be leaders, period, not the leaders of their organization. So like when I'm talking to Joe, it's not creating him to run this business. It's like creating, kind of grooming him to be a strong entrepreneur, period. Which, I mean, you may see an opportunity where he can step up and say, I want to take part. Yes.
Well, and this is why, and so that's one of my flaws too. It's a flaw. I have always, since 2012, I remember communicating when I owned my clothing stores to employees who would come and interview or people who would come and interview for me. I would say, I am looking for people who want to be in leadership. I'm looking for people who are interested in running their own business, right? And ideally, that sounds great to only hire people. I wanted to train and develop more entrepreneurs even through my boutique. If you're not interested in starting your own boutique, this is not the place for you because you're on a leadership path, right? But what happens when something happens and you need somebody to be sold out for your brand? Yeah. So it's a gift and a curse. Yes, we want to continue to impact and create and develop leaders, but when it comes internally to our house, there will be some people like the Joes who might probably go on and do his own thing over time, but you have to have a core team. I have to have a core team that's in it to win it with me. They believe in this brand. They want to be leaders to carry out my vision, to carry out your vision. Otherwise, if you're continuing to just train and develop entrepreneurs within your organization, you don't have anybody who's completely all in for you.
That's a fact. Goodness gracious. Well, this is a good conversation, Donni. Hold on, we're eating later. Yes?
I gave you the money to eat. I gave you some lunch money.
I can't wait for you to be late again. Now it's like, oh, I'm like waiting like, all right, well, Donnie's 3 minutes late. Now I don't care because you're going to give us both $50. That's exciting.
I gave you guys both lunch money today. Enjoy your lunch, okay, kids?
And then she's going to propose, hey, can we all go together? Like,
can we all go?
And then for some reason, I know it's going to turn out, you good?
Yes, I am good.
So for some reason,
I drank it all. I know, right? It was keeping me from coughing, so I had to keep it in my hand.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm wearing the Sleep is for Suckers t-shirt. Maybe they should give me a sponsorship because you can go to sleepisforsuckers with a number 4.com. Maybe they'll give me a sponsorship.
Are we going to lunch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we doing something?
Can we finish the episode? You hungry?
What kind of sexist, male chauvinist thing is going on here? Was he not just talking about going to lunch? Is it just me? Or was he just talking about going to lunch?
Well, calm down.
Not only were you talking about going to lunch, you were talking about your excitement and expectation of me being late in the future so you can continue to feed yourself on my dollar.
You're still on that? This episode is sponsored by The Morning Meetup, themorningmeetup.com, the only organization that gathers every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are growing as entrepreneurs. Over 500-600 people are on our call, a Zoom call every single day. And we are a family. We get together. They doing stuff without me. They coming together with their own little groups and stuff like that. Then I'll be feeling away. I'm not invited. Like, yo, I put this together.
Together. Ain't nobody coming to see you.
Right? What movie was that?
The 5 Heartbeats.
Well, yes.
What's his? Ain't nobody coming to see you. What's the name? Otis. Temptations.
Can I finish? All right.
You threw me under the bus in a major way yesterday too.
When? How?
With that post that you made.
Yo, because I was going through like something to post. First off, it ain't about you, Donni. It was funny though.
Roll under the bus post was about me.
You got so hyped.
I did.
And the fact that I couldn't remember. And I think the thing was, I don't think what I was saying was that deep. And you had got hyped because you had like obviously thought of something. And I was like, I can't live up to her reaction. But anyway, go to themorningmeetup.com. We have the Launch Your Podcast Challenge, which we are helping. My goal is to help 1,000 entrepreneurs, 1,000 creators, 1,000 people, 1,000 men, women, anybody who has an idea, anybody who has a voice, anybody who has a concept. My goal is to help 1,000 people launch their podcast. So we have the Launch Your Podcast Challenge coming up. So go to launchyourpodcastchallenge.com and join the challenge. Okay, we have a challenge coming up that you can be a part of. Okay, that's all I got.
All right, this episode is also brought to you by Six Figure Accelerator, the dopest community for coaches, consultants, and course creators. If you are looking to create and develop your courses, your coaching programs, and your consulting programs from scratch, I am your girl. You want to get with me? We are building and developing six-figure entrepreneur after six-figure entrepreneur. I literally
How do you do that?
By my program, Six Figure Accelerator. No, seriously.
How would I be a part of that?
You can go to www.sixfigureedu.com.
Do you have any other success stories in there, or are you the only one that's being successful?
No, we've got several success stories in there, and Joe is my witness. You've heard the success stories in the group. Can I get a verbal? Yep. Just recently, a couple of days ago, I was out in these streets and I ran into one of my students and she shared with me that her business has generated $50,000 in revenues in the last 4 months. So she will exceed her six-figure goal of $100,000. That's most recent. I'm super excited about it. But for my entrepreneurs, most specifically service-based entrepreneurs who are struggling to connect on social media, because we build our brands on social media.
100%.
But maybe you are struggling with what to say in your captions. You don't know what to say to connect, to convert, and to collect the cash. I have another group for you. It's called Post to Paid. Shans, did you know that I literally send 3 text messages a day, every single day?
Every day?
Every day, Joe.
Like you'll text
Even
me
with
every
COVID
day.
every
Even
day.
with COVID.
You'll text me every day.
I'll text you every
You're texting
day.
me what to post
What
for people that are
exactly what to
struggling with
post.
creating content?
Word for word.
That's exciting.
Not just posts that connect, convert, and collect cash. And it's just $37 a month. Did you know if you do the numbers on that, it's like $1.23 a day?
That's light.
Straight to your cell phone. Anywho, you can join that by texting me the words post to paid at 404-737-2767.
There we have it. Listen, this has been an awesome episode. Make sure y'all share this. Make sure you like it. Make sure you comment. Okay. Make sure you're following both of us. Okay. And we can't end it no better than that, right?
Can't end it any better than that. Also, if you see David and I in these streets and one more of y'all acknowledge him and don't acknowledge me, I'm ready to go to war about mine. I'm ready to go to war about mine, okay? Bye, you guys.
We out of here. Peace.